At number 10, we have A Dark Place. Aaron's friends and family believed that the singer was in a dark place and that he desperately needed help. In a video captured in a live stream just days leading to his passing, Aaron read a message from his fiancée Melanie which stated that he was going to pass away. The words clearly upset Aaron, as the text would leave him to cry and stop huffing on Instagram Live. Melanie did tell him if it was true what he was doing, it wasn't going to end up well. She then told the singer she loved him and that it wasn't safe. She then went on to beg the star not to do this to himself. Throughout the live stream, Aaron's fans were very active in the comments, and one even said, "I was watching his IG live the other day thinking the guy needed help as soon as possible." Fans would then call authorities to have a welfare check done and to make sure Aaron was okay. Aaron would then tell the first responders he was sleeping, and then they would leave as there was no additional cause or concern at the time. At number 9, we have mental health. In an episode of Doctors, Aaron opened up about numerous mental health diagnoses. Aaron would reveal that he's been prescribed a whole lot of medication to help him combat schizophrenia, acute anxiety, multiple personality disorder, and that he was bipolar. Aaron then went on to say this was his reality and that he had to wake up every morning to. And he had to take a huge amount of medication just so he could get through the day. Back in 2017, Aaron would check himself into Aloe House in Malibu to seek professional treatment for his mental and physical health issues. Aaron went in to focus on issues privately while focusing on becoming the best performer and person he could. At the time, the singer was definitely grateful for all the support and love from his fans and looked forward to come back stronger than ever. At number 8, we have missing rehab therapy sessions. On Friday night, just a day before Aaron passed, he was supposed to have an online therapy session that he failed to show up to. Aaron agreed to go through the program in the hopes that one day he could regain some custody for his son Prince. When the star refused to show up for his session, the facility would reach out to his fiancée Melanie, and she would have to break the tragic news to them. Aaron was known to take breaks from his rehab schedule. However, the star just re-enrolled last week and was set to attend an online session. The singer was subject of a welfare check previously after fans were worried after watching an Instagram live he held. There's no said reason on why the star would have missed the session, but it was definitely a sign someone should have noticed when it happened instead of only checking in the next day. And number 7, disturbing video. Just days before his passing, Aaron went live on Instagram for Halloween. The star could be seen wearing a hoodie and a white cap. In the video, it appeared just to be a regular live stream. However, things took a quick turn, and then the video started to become deeply disturbing. As the stars started to sing, "Show me if you ever trusted him. My mom told me never to trust him." Aaron then would go on to say a couple of sentences that weren't really coherent, and it would leave us wondering what was really going on with the star. It hasn't been confirmed whether the star was under the influence at the time. However, the vehicle he was captured in was pulled over a couple days prior because of an alleged DUI. Hey my little peaches, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. And number 6, his difficult relationship with his brother and sister. In 2017, Los Angeles court system granted Angel Carter an extension of her restraining order against her twin brother Aaron. The order was initially put in place to protect Angel back in September of that year. However, it was extended to November 2020. Aaron was ordered to stay away from Angel and her husband and their homes as well as their place of business. Aaron's brother Nick Carter would also obtain a 1-year protective restraining order against Aaron after Aaron made some pretty chilling comments about Nick's pregnant wife and unborn child. Both siblings felt like they were left with no choice but to take measures so they could protect themselves and their families. Aaron would then claim that his siblings lied just to make him look bad in front of the public eye. And number 5, we have speeding and driving under the influence. Aaron has definitely had fair share of run-ins with authorities. However, on November 1st, around 10:45 in the morning, deputies pulled over the singer while he was driving an RV. Just before, authorities got the call about a driver weaving in traffic, and the pedestrians were afraid that the driver may have been under the influence. Officers, they didn't even know it was Aaron Carter until they pulled him over. After conducting a series of sober tests, they determined that Aaron wasn't under the influence and that the RV was weaving due to high blowing winds. However, in the past, Aaron has been pulled over and arrested for carrying substances in his vehicle. And number 4, emotional and spiritual issues. Aaron's manager, Johnny Wright, once said that Aaron entered into a Southern California treatment facility to deal with emotion and spiritual issues. Johnny went on to say he's chosen to enter a facility where he feels he will get the guidance and cleansing he needs that will help him on his music journey he's about to take. At the time, Aaron was currently working on a new album and a live show in Florida. The statement did not describe what facility Aaron had entered into or what issues he was treating directly. However, inside sources would tell E! That Aaron entered into a Southern California center for addiction issues. At the time, the star was going through a lot of stress, and it was revealed that he owed more than $1 million back in taxes, so this all could have led to his spiral downfall. And number 3, we have bankruptcy. In 2013, court documents will reveal that Aaron filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy after the star owed more than $2 million to creditors, as well as over $1 million in income tax debt and $31,000 to American Express bill. Majority of his debt he was asking to be discharged from was when he was a minor not in control of his finances. In 2014, the star would appear on a reality show called Life or Debt, and he would reveal that he was still in a terrible position financially. When the star turned 18, he was hit with all these taxes, and it was a real difficult time for him to try to get back on his feet. Mostly the star was bankrupt because his own manager stole thousands from him, and he was still responsible for paying all the taxes on it. And number 2, we have the family feud. The feud between Aaron and Nick ignited when Nick refused to attend his sister's funeral. In a 2-year-old clip, Aaron would claim that his brother Nick Carter stopped talking after his sister's Leslie's passing. Now, Leslie and Aaron were really close, and from time to time they were more than just siblings because they were actually best friends. When Aaron decided to watch some videos from his family's reality TV show, House of Carters, he saw that Leslie was definitely going through something and none of them seemed to notice. And none of them even listened to her. Aaron even pointed out that his brother one time, Nick, would even turn away and walk away from her. Following the funeral, the two would get into an argument as Nick would say that his solo concert in front of 200 people was more important than attending his sister's celebration of life. And at number 1 today, we have his stalled career. It's clear Aaron's life all started to crumble after his music career stalled. Aaron was the youngest pop star created by Perlman, and by the age of 14, he would also sue his manager in 2002 for stealing his money. By 2016, after Perlman's passing, he would owe millions of music royalties to Aaron. However, Aaron and many of other Perlman's victims would never see the money, and they would be left with millions of dollars they would have to pay in back taxes. After Aaron was pulled over by cops in 2008, he would bounce back with an appearance on Dancing with the Stars in 2009. However, the show failed to revive his stalled music career. Aaron would then begin to struggle with bankruptcy, rehab, and it would cause his world to come crashing down. At number 10, we have Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato has admitted her song Skyscraper was a cry for help and none of us really noticed. When the star was 19 years old, she was admitted to rehab for 3 months and received treatment for an eating disorder and self-punishment. Demi said that the song was really difficult for her to record as it was a cry for help, and it wouldn't be the last time the star would use her music to tell us she needed help. In 2020, Demi Lovato's Grammy performance was no doubt an emotional one, and her track Anyone revealed that the star was crying for help. Demi has even admitted that when she listened to the track back, she couldn't believe how nobody listened to the song and thought, let's get this girl some help. Even though Demi has disclosed that she recorded the song when she thought she was in a good state of mind, she definitely wasn't, and none of us even noticed. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. At number 9, we have Aaron Carter. It's clear that America doesn't care if you're famous, and it's pretty sad. Aaron Carter is responsible for most of the iconic 2000 hits. However, Aaron's life has exemplified how a sensational teenage pop star can fall from grace into the pits of substance addiction and mental illness, and no one would even notice. Aaron, over the last couple of years, has been suffering from eating disorders, addiction, schizophrenia, multiple personality disorders, and acute anxiety. When Aaron was crying for help, all doctors did was prescribe him with a number of prescription medications, and his brother and sister would even go to file restraining orders against him after he started to spiral out of control. Aaron would even act so manically that he took to his Twitter account to say, if you're reading this, it's too late. All I ask for my family is to leave me alone. This is blood, not love. I will never be around you, and I don't want to be around you. Aaron was crying for help, and we all refused to notice before it was too late. At number 8, we have Kanye West. Kanye West's outbursts over the last few years have definitely been a cry for help, and if any of us truly took the time to realize, then he probably wouldn't be in the situation situation he is today. Kanye all his life has been pretty open when it comes to his bipolar disorder, and regularly on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kim has been really worried that he's been having episodes before they split. Kanye's outbursts seem to have started when Kim went public with her relationship with Pete Davidson. However, recently, Kanye's outbursts have also caused him to be dropped by his partnerships with Adidas and Gap. It's clear that Kanye needs help, and all of his actions have been a cry for it. From the beginning, we've chosen to make fun of the star and hype him to the point the situation became worse, and it even ruined his career. Now, I know it's so hard to be compassionate towards someone being so much hate on the internet, but it's time we pursue Kanye to get the help he needs. At number 7, we have Britney Spears. Before we knew how bad Britney was suffering due to her 13 years under the hands of her father's control, none of us even took the time to realize that the star was suffering. From shaving her head to playing dress up with food in a restaurant, the star clearly gave us a ton of hints that she wasn't doing okay. Back in 2021, when New York Times and FX documentary released Framing Britney, Britney would tell the world how she felt about the documentary by posting a video of herself performing Toxic. The star would then go on to say in a caption, "Each person has their own story and their own take on people's stories. We all have different, bright, beautiful lives, but remember, no matter what we think about how a person's life is, it's nothing compared to the actual person living behind the lens." A lot of Britney's outbursts when she was younger have shown us that there was something deeply concerning going on with the star, but instead of taking it seriously, people decided to take it as a joke as they thought the star was just off her rocker. At number 6, we have Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan portrayed some pretty outrageous behavior back in the day. From being under the influence to stealing a $2,500 necklace from a jewelry store, having wedding rampages, and even the time she abducted 3 men. The star's actions clearly show she was going through something that none of us could understand. Society forced Lindsay to be a perfect girl, and it's clear she wanted to rebel to show that she wasn't this perfect girl everybody wanted her to be. With a bad relationship stemming from her father and her brain being impaired, it was only time before we saw this star spiral out of control. Lindsay was clearly unhappy with her life and thought the media attention would make her feel good. However, she took things way too far. Luckily for Lindsay, she did seem to get the help she needs, and she seems to be back on track with her career. And number 5, we have Amanda Bynes. Amanda Bynes' bizarre behavior was a desperate cry for help, and even her family noticed. Amanda's bizarre behavior caused major concerns after she had a couple of relapses, driving incidents, and bizarre tweets that involved her huge crush on Drake and distaste for the media. After Amanda's parents found themselves in a powerless situation as they had no legal options to get their daughter help, Amanda would then cut off her parents and move all the way to New York City just to escape her parents so they couldn't keep tabs on her. Now, Amanda has since cleaned up her act and has shown us a glimpse of her life as she's currently training to become a nail technician. The star has also stated she doesn't have any desire to return to acting anytime soon. However, she has said it would be fun to reprise her role as Holly Tyler on the sitcom What I Like About You. However, it is great to see the star is doing well again because she definitely deserves it. At number 4, we have Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen wishes more people would have seen his bizarre behavior back in the day as a cry for help and got him the help he needed. When the actor went on a series of profanity-laced rants, the filming for 2.5 Men would be suspended and Charlie would undergo treatments for addictions following a relapse. Days later, Charlie would be fired from the production as Warner Brothers stated in a legal letter that the star engaged in a dangerous, self-destructive way and appeared to be ill. Charlie has definitely had a lot of time since to reflect on his behavior and regrets everything about it. With 2 divorces, stress, mental breakdowns, the star turned to substances to show us that he was crying for help. And while some companies took notice of this, no one actually did anything to help him, and that's even more concerning. At number 3, we have Lil Peep. In late 2016 and early 2017, Lil Peep seemed to be very depressed, and his moods really reflected on his Twitter page. The rapper would go on to tweet things like, "Enjoy me while I'm still here," and Lil Peep might not wake up tomorrow. When Lil Peep passed, it was released that the star was under the influence of many substances that led to his passing. His substance use and battle with depression and anxiety simply caused his life to spiral out of control. While the star was clearly calling out for help, none of us truly took the time to realize before it was too late. Lil Peep's mother has even alleged that Lil Peep told his management team that the tour was making him ill, and they ignored his cries for help and pushed her son onto the stage after stage and city after city, which led to his use of substances along the way. And number 2, we have Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD's music has sent a message to the world, and it's been a sense of release for those struggling under the weight of their own mental illnesses. Juice WRLD has been battling a lot of demons since he was in 6th grade, and the star would try to break free from substances. However, heartbreak, depression, and anxiety seemed to cause him to relapse. It wasn't until he met his girlfriend Allie that he truly began to feel in control of his life. Just days after his passing, fans would notice some some pretty chilling details in his music. Where we once believed his music was a confession of his struggles, however, it was actually a cry for help and none of us realized. Especially in his song Wishing Well, the rapper went on to state, "I cry for help, do they listen? I'ma be alone until it's finished." As we all thought the star was getting better, his song Fighting Demons would state that even though he got rich, it never made him happy. However, even while Juice WRLD has been struggling, and his desire to save those who relied on him through his music has definitely lived on, and he's definitely helped a ton of fans get through a tough time. At number 1 today, we have Mac Miller. When Mac Miller passed away just at the age of 26, he left behind a huge confession through his music that detailed his struggle with mental health and substance abuse. Mac broke out into the scene when he was just a teenager, however, his life quickly took a dark turn when he started staying inside, developed insomnia, and became a workaholic. When looking at the breadcrumbs Mac left behind in his songs, you can see that Mac was pretty open about his substance abuse and his lifetime of struggles he faced. In Mac's song Self-Care, Mac raps about how he's been losing his mind and it must be nice to be above the lights. The star was using his music to beg for help, and again, no one paid attention. And it's honestly really sad to see that the industry really refuses to help celebrities when they need it most, and while stars are spiraling out of control, they use it to profit off of them instead.
Number 10, Matthew Perry. During his time playing Chandler Bing on the TV show Friends, fans would have never guessed that Matthew Perry was privately struggling with a Vicodin addiction. It all started with a horrible jet ski accident in 1997 that left the actor with pretty serious injuries, for which he was then prescribed the pain-blocking medication Vicodin. But throughout all this, the star was able to maintain his acting career and managed to keep his dependency under wraps. He told the New York Times in 2002 that he went to work in extreme cases of hangover, and it was so horrible to be like that and still have to be funny on top of that. His friend's co-star Lisa Kudrow noticed everything. Quote, "When Matthew was sick, it was not fun. We were just hopelessly standing on the sidelines. We were hurting a lot." Sometime later, the beloved actor confessed that the series was causing him immense stress, which subsequently made his addiction worse. But throughout all of this, Perry has a positive outlook on life. Quote, "The best thing about me is that if an alcoholic comes to me and says, 'Will you help me stop drinking?' I will say, 'Yes, I know how to do that.'" So it's amazing that he's now able to help others who are in the same situation. Number 9, Machine Gun Kelly. In a candid conversation with Dave Franco for Interview magazine, the 32-year-old singer revealed that he was dealing with a secret dependency on illicit substances while writing and recording music. He said that he believed that this is how you attained a certain level or unlocked something in your brain. Quote, "Adderall was a huge thing for me for a long time, and I went from orally taking it to then it, and then it became something where I was scared to ever go into a studio if I didn't have something." Kelly went on to say that he wouldn't even step out unless there was a medicine man who was going to visit him and give him what he needed. Quote, "And that's where it becomes a problem. You're telling yourself you can't do this without that, when really it's in you the whole time. If that pill did that for you, then everyone who's taken that would just be making albums and writing songs. And so that limited me." The singer explained that the most challenging part of recovery is separating his music persona, Machine Gun Kelly, from who he really is as Colson Baker, and credits his girlfriend Megan Fox as an essential part of his support system. But Kelly is putting in the work to live a sober life and is currently taking steps to change. In fact, he had his first therapy session last month, so things are looking good for him. Number 8, Demi Lovato. The star has struggled with addiction since 2010, when she first entered rehab at the age of 18. Over the years, Demi returned to rehab to treat an eating disorder, self-harm, and substance addiction. For the Disney Channel star, the success of Camp Rock and various other shows really launched her into the spotlight, but the way she coped with the stress and demands of superstardom was unfortunately turning to illicit substances. She managed to keep this all under wraps throughout her youth until her secret life was eventually exposed. In July of 2018, Demi suffered an overdose, and she spent several days in the hospital before going to treatment later that summer. In August, she told her Instagram followers that she was hospitalized, and she released the following statement on Instagram, quote, "What I've learned is that this illness is not something that disappears or fades with time. It's something I must continue to overcome and have not done yet." Since then, her journey through the ups and downs of sobriety has helped many people, and she has since been able to speak openly about her addictions. Number 7, Ben Affleck. The actor has long been vocal about his sobriety throughout his career, starting with his openness about his family history and rehab stays. But it wasn't wasn't always this way. In fact, for many years, he was battling his addiction to alcohol in secret. In 2012, he confessed to Barbara Walters that his father was an alcoholic and said that he drank all day, every day, explaining that the legacy of that is quite powerful and hard to shake. After starring in Good Will Hunting, Affleck took a serious look at his binge drinking. Quote, "I just wanted to stop. I started regretting some things I did when I was drunk. It's funny to be obnoxious or out of control. I have almost no inhibitions, so it's dangerous for me." But it wasn't until 2001 that the actor actually sought treatment for his alcoholism. He has since been to rehab multiple times and has been in recovery ever since. Things have been going well for the actor recently, but recovery can be an uphill battle, and Affleck suffered another setback in October 2019, 2 months after celebrating 1 year of sobriety, when he was photographed leaving a Halloween party intoxicated. But in January last year, he revealed on the podcast Awards Chatter that he feels very good despite having slips here and there. Number 6. Jamie Lee Curtis. It was 1998 and the iconic Scream Queen was cooking dinner for her and her 2 children in her LA home. And doing what she usually did, Jamie reached into her pants pocket and scooped up 5 Vicodin and swallowed them all at once with a swig of wine. But she didn't realize that a friend who was staying at the house was watching her from a doorway and she was caught red-handed. Quote, "The jig was up. Now I knew someone knew. I had been nursing a secret Vicodin addiction for a very long time, over 10 years. Jamie had been hooked on the substance after routine plastic surgery to remove the puffiness around her eyes. She said that the surgery itself wasn't painful, but they gave her Vicodin to aid recovery, and from there on she was hooked. Not only that, but the addiction ran in her family, and her brother Nicholas sadly passed away from substance use disorder at the age of 21 in 1994. Last year, Jamie opened up to Hello magazine about her struggle. Quote, "My recovery is the single greatest accomplishment that I will ever get to do in this human life. I have been clean and sober for 22 years. The actress is now an advocate for policies to reduce opioid misuse. Number 5. Dax Shepard. The actor, podcast host, and husband of Christian Bale has famously talked about his recovery process. In his podcast, The Armchair Expert, Dax said that he was proud to have been sober from alcohol and for the past 16 years, and that he wanted to be open and honest about his recovery journey in order to help others who might be struggling with active addiction. But talking about it wasn't always easy for him. In fact, earlier this year, he said he initially didn't want to go public with the relapse out of fear of losing his connection with people. The actor also reflected on his rock bottom and how his infamous 2004 interview with Conan O'Brien almost derailed his career entirely. Dax did the pre-interview with Conan while blackout drunk. Quote, "I show up on the show, I don't know what he's talking about, I can tell he's queuing me up for stories I've told, but I don't know any of the stories, so I'm just doing what I can to be funny out there and I am a mess." During the interview, he noticeably slurred his words before falling off the side of his chair and accidentally flipping the coffee table that was in front of him. But he's come a long way since then and now uses his experience to talk openly about addiction and sobriety in a way that is both funny and relatable. Number 4. Jamie Campbell Bower. The 33-year-old British actor began his ascent to fame in Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street in 2007 alongside Johnny Depp. He was then cast in Twilight New Moon as the ancient leader Caius and starred as a young Gellert Grindelwald in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 the following year. Today, Jamie is best known for playing the villain Vecna in Series 4 of Stranger Things, but has since revealed that he has been suffering from substance addiction in his early years. The actor posted a 2-part tweet telling fans about his problems with substance misuse and his time in hospital receiving mental health treatment. Quote, 12 and a half years ago, I was in active addiction, hurting myself and those around me who I love the most. It got so bad that eventually I ended up in hospital for mental health. But he went on to assure fans that he is now 7.5 years clean and sober. He admitted that he had made many mistakes in his life, but each day is a chance to start again, atone for mistakes and grow. He ended the tweet with an inspiring message by saying that he is so grateful to be sober and that all of us are works in progress. Number 3, Bradley Cooper. In a new episode of the Smartless podcast, Hosted by Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, and Sean Hayes, Bradley Cooper opened up about the addiction struggles that haunted his 20s and how a friend jump-started his journey to recovery. The Oscar-nominated actor said that when he moved to LA for his role in Alias, he felt like he was back in high school, which ruined his self-esteem. Quote, "I couldn't get into any clubs, no girls wanted to look at me, I was totally depressed." He was later fired from the series and was dealing with an injury to his Achilles tendon at the same time. During this trying time in his career, he turned to and his addiction slowly got worse over time. It was only when Cooper went to a dinner party with Arnett when he was 29 that he realized he had hit rock bottom. Arnett, who was essentially his hero, called him out for his rude behavior during the party, and then the actor had a light bulb moment and realized that he had a problem with illicit substances and alcohol. Then between the ages of 29 to 34, the actor worked really hard at sobriety and had an ongoing journey of self-acceptance thanks to therapy. Number 2. Travis Barker. The Blink-182 drummer was in a horrific plane crash in 2008 that killed everyone on board except for him and one passenger. Although Travis survived, his two closest friends, Chris Baker and Charles Still, lost their lives that day. The only other survivor, his friend Adam Goldstein, died the following year. In the aftermath of all the tragedy, Travis spent 3 months in the hospital and had to have 26 different surgeries performed on him and multiple skin grafts to treat his various injuries from the crash. But what's truly amazing here is prior to the accident, Travis had been suffering from an intense addiction to opioids for several years, as it was only the life-changing crash that altered his mental state enough to ditch the substances. He told Men's Health, quote, "People are always like, did you go to rehab? And I say no, I was in a plane crash. That was my rehab. Lose 3 of your friends and almost die? That was my wake-up call. If I wasn't in a crash, I would probably never quit." Travis said that he used to smoke an excessive amount of a certain leafy green substance and used painkillers as a method of coping with his fear of flying that he developed osteoporosis. In fact, in the hospital for 11 weeks following the crash, Travis frequently regained consciousness during surgeries because his opioid tolerance was so high. And coming in at number 1, Robert Downey Jr. The actor is now one of the most notable and inspiring cases for sobriety. Robert Downey Jr. has had a phenomenal Hollywood comeback story and is now one of the most bankable and highly paid actors in show business, starring in blockbuster comic book films like Iron Man and in the Avengers, but the actor spent most of his early career under the influence, leading to high-profile arrests and a string of rehab visits. His addiction started during childhood and was allegedly encouraged by his father, Robert Downey Sr., who also had a substance use disorder and allowed his son to try a leafy green substance at only 6 years old. According to a 1996 People article, the illicit substances actually facilitated an emotional bond between the two, and so for years, addiction was incredibly difficult for Downey Jr. to break away from. It was only when his wife, Susan Downey, revealed in 2003 that she gave her husband an ultimatum that he decided to quit for good. And apparently, it stuck, because 10 years later, in an interview with Daily Mail, the actor credited a combination of 12-step programs, yoga, meditation, and therapy for keeping him sober.
At number 10, we have Poppy Delevingne. According to numerous reports, Poppy visited Cara's West Hollywood home last Wednesday morning. News outlets didn't state what she was there for, as she most likely didn't give reporters a reason. However, it was detailed that Poppy exited the house around 11 a.m. to leave in a black SUV. Poppy did inform them about an update on Cara, where she told them Cara was doing fine nowadays. It's still unknown whether or not Cara was home while Poppy was visiting though. Still, further media news released pieces that the socialite had rushed over to her sister from London because she was concerned for Cara's well-being with all the public incidents she was experiencing mixed in with her no-show events. It's a well-known fact that Cara and Poppy share an incredibly close sisterly bond. At number 9, we have Jay-Z. One of Cara's most heavily reported incidents over the past few weeks have been her getting forced to depart off the rapper's private jet while she was experiencing a reportedly erratic display at an LA airport. The British model's family and friends remain in fear that they will need to soon host an urgent intervention for the English star after witnessing her recently questioning behavior. This occasion was also the time when shocking photos and videos of Cara emerged online, showing her twirling around the airport with no shoes on. Cara also reportedly had bruises littered on her arm and her hair was unbrushed. This also followed up on her behavior prior to, when she appeared to be out of the sort while smoking, and also from her quote wild behavior at her Ibiza party with her loved ones. At number 8, we have Amber Heard. Now, many haven't heard much of her since her loss in the defamation case against her ex-husband Johnny Depp. However, most recently, Amber has been blamed for Kara's addiction struggle by a famous gossip columnist. Kara has opened up numerous times to the media about how rough her struggles with hard substances and thoughts of ending her life have been for her. But how was Amber involved? Well, for one, there's her past alleged romantic involvement with the actress while Amber was still married to Johnny. This went as far as Kara's name being dragged into their trial because old elevator footage obtained by the opposing legal team showed the actresses making out, which further proved Amber was unfaithful during her marriage. But their connection goes even deeper and seems a lot more troubling for the stars. Allegedly, they were additionally the organizers of sensual Hollywood parties, which numerous billionaire tech moguls were involved in. Jessica insisted that Kara was supposedly one of the famous women that Amber had set up her billionaire clients with. However, Jessica has no solid confirmation about how Kara was rumoredly involved in these events, aside from pictures of Kara at the parties. Like most parties, there were always drink and substance consumption occurring, which was said to be a major portion of the issues Kara is still reportedly going through. Jessica has labeled Amber as the enabler for, quote, hooking Kara on hardcore redacted at these parties. While there's no real way of knowing how much or little this could have affected Kara, it definitely didn't help. If you haven't yet, tap the notification bell for more, it really helps our channel. We have Kara's Suicide Squad co-star and bestie Margot Robbie. According to reports made by TMZ, Margot was another famous pal of Kara's who popped to visit to her home on that same Wednesday. In Margot's case, she was photographed taking off from Kara's house looking visibly distressed and in tears. In photos, Margot is pictured with a reported bag of toiletries. Her visit came in light of Kara's then latest incidents, indicating that she might not be okay. Margot was described to still be distraught several hours after leaving Kara's residence around 5 p.m. Similar to Poppy, nobody knows if Kara was inside when Margot showed up. At number 6, we have Megan Thee Stallion. Now, we all know how confusing it was to see Kara's encounters with Megan at the 2022 Billboard Music Awards. It got so wild that fans worryingly assumed Kara was tripping on something and acting creepy while she followed the body artist around. At the time, one tweeted, "Memes beside, Cara Delevingne is so creepy and I hope she gets a restraining order from Megan Thee Stallion." Another accused Cara of being obsessed. However, the Suicide Squad actress eventually had to clear her name from the viral moment on July 22nd, where she had to finalize that she was simply a really excited hype woman at the time. The incident in question, in short, is that Cara was trailing Megan around the event, pulling odd faces at Megan and staring at Megan posing on the red carpet, later joining Megan in her photo op to assist her with her dress. It was eventually clarified that Cara attended the event with the rapper, and Megan did not deny this. In Cara's explanation to Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show, she explained, quote, "I really wanted to see her play and she asked me to come along with her. I didn't know I was gonna go sit or do anything. I thought I was just going to come and watch her play. I walked in and I had a seat in the front row and I'm like, I'm not meant to be here." At number 5, we have Doja Cat. Another female rapper whose presence Cara graced at the 2022 Billboard Music Awards was the need-to-know musician Doja. At the time, Cara donned every headline you can think of for her odd behavior regarding Megan, both prior to and during the awards ceremony. But these weren't the only things that caught the media's attention. While seated for the show, Cara was brightly stationed front and center, and on either side of her was Doja and Megan. A fan-recorded video showed Megan and Doja, who were both nominated for a big award, holding a regular conversation. The actress soon pops her head out seemingly out of the blue while they're discussing and chimes into their conversation. Doja, who noticed her presence right away in surprise, but seemed to not know Cara was there prior to her jumping in, said, "Oh my god, hi Cara Delevingne." In a since viral clip, Megan and Doja seemed to chuckle the encounter off. However, this is where things get a little weird. While they all seemed fine at the event, when it was over, Megan took to her Instagram stories to celebrate her win and the night. In one photo Megan reposted from a fan account, she and Doja are posed together smiling, but fans quickly pulled up the original photo and attempted to piece 2 and 2 together. In the OG, Cara was sitting between both rappers and resultantly ended up being edited out Diddy style from the snapshot. At number 4, we have Lady Mary Chartreuse. Starting with the fact that Mary has been sober since 2018 and Cara is supposedly spiraling nowadays, with reports saying she's falling back into her addiction. This may be proof that this particular friendship could be exposing more than they think. Both are people of importance in Hollywood who came from affluent upbringings and run in the same inner circle. The longtime friends were also both celebrating Cara's exclusive 30th birthday party together in Spain. But despite their closeness, many spectators of Cara's situation have hinted that Mary could be the most concerned for her besties nowadays. At number 3, we have all-rounder Rihanna. The supermodel and Rihanna are actually super close and have been for quite a few years now. Given the inner circle Cara runs in though, alongside her DGAF attitude, it may not be all that surprising to know that she has a personal personality so similar to her close friend, known as the Queen Riri. The entrepreneur and superstar and Cara first introduced themselves to one another at a fashion show. The pair would later star in Luc Besson's then eventual film Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. When Cara spoke about this experience of theirs once to Glamour, she stated, "I've seen her work in the studio, in concerts, in meeting, but to see her act was incredible. And while they do more than just party together, whenever they do, they clearly always have a great time." When Rihanna turned 30 in 2018, Cara posted an Instagram collage of them having fun in honor of her bestie's bash. Outside of their personal affairs, the two even support each other professionally. Cara walked Rihanna's 2020 Savage X Fenty runway for the Business Bosses fashion show. At number 2, we have Sienna Miller. Now, Sienna and Cara have quite similar behavior, and if you take a moment to even confirm this, you'll find tons of articles on their party animal ways. Furthermore, Sienna is basically dubbed as another enabler in Cara's life, as she is someone who Cara frequently allows her wilder side to shine with. This kind of dependence in the relationship could very well have played a hand in some of the recent reports of Cara floating around. However, Sienna is still considered to be one of Cara's closest friends, especially because of Sienna's friendship with Poppy. Reports detail that Poppy and Sienna lived together in New York after they left school. An apparent close insider to both Sienna and Cara informed Page 6 back at the beginning of the year that the duo were a pair who enjoyed a wild time together quite often, and that they've been longtime friends because of this. The insider was referencing a kiss Sienna and Cara reportedly shared in a club at the time. At number 1, we have Ajira Aboa, who met Cara while they were both still teen models. The pair did a featured sit-down with Glamour back in 2017, and in it, they spoke of their memories together and the fact that they couldn't figure out when their exact meeting happened. Ajira solely remembers Cara, quote, walking around on the street of London in a cardboard box. As the two recalled some of their earliest bonding moments in their life together, they giggled about the time they were at Glastonbury, as well as their first trip to the Burning Man festival. According to Cara, they were driven to the event by a woman who was pregnant and blind. When speaking on the basis of their friendship, Ajira described it as so. "People call us model best friends, but we were friends before. What I've always been grateful for in our friendship is that we expect absolutely nothing from each other, just friendship." Cara and Ajira even share a matching tattoo of a half-red heart inked onto their hands to symbolize the close genuinity of their friendship. At number 10, we have Margot Robbie. Margot and Cara were friends long before they became co-stars for their 2016 film Suicide Squad. Their initial introductions were done at a formal party they both attended. When speaking about how they met, Margot told ET, "When the waitress asked, 'Would you like water? Would you like champagne?' I said, 'God, I want a tequila.' Cara, who I'd never met before, was about 5 meters away from me, and her ears just pricked up and she said, 'Did someone say tequila?' I was like, 'You and I are so going to be best friends.'" Since then, Margot has expressed her deepest genuine love for Cara, so it comes without a doubt that further concerns were raised when Margot seemed to be struggling to keep her composure while she left her bestie's $7 million West Hollywood home on September 12th. It was midday during the occurrence when Margot appeared to be gloomy and wiping tears as she clutched a bag with reported toiletries prior to her jumping into an awaited car to head to LA's International Airport. It's still unknown if Cara was home while Margot was visiting. Margot's pop-up took place just under a month since the duo celebrated Cara's 30th birthday in Spain with their other close friends and loved ones. If you haven't yet, smash that subscribe button for more regularly updated celebrity content. At number 9, we have Poppy Delevingne. Cara's sister Poppy, who's based in London, was reported to have also visited Cara's home over that same weekend, with further media news releasing pieces that stated the socialite rushed to be with her sister because she was worried about her well-being amid the public incidents blended in with her no-show events. Apparently, when reporters asked how the model was nowadays, Poppy updated them about Cara's current state by informing them that Cara is doing fine. The sisters share an incredibly close bond, and Cara was Poppy's only bridesmaid in her wedding with her husband James Cook back in 2014. The two even launched their own sibling wine brand with their other sister Chloe in 2020. As children, Cara was said to have slept in Poppy's bed for years, and that Poppy played an integral part in helping raise Cara, as their mother Pandora was a struggling addict before their birth with a later diagnosis of a medical condition called bipolar disorder. At number 8, we have Sienna Miller. Sienna is one of Cara's closest friends, apparently because of her older sister. It was stated that Poppy and Sienna lived together in New York a short while after leaving school. Cara and Sienna have had strings of conversations circulating about them regarding the club kiss they shared at the beginning of the year. Allegedly, an onlooker informed Page 6 in January, quote, "It was like fluid friends. Sienna made out with this this tall guy and then she made out with Cara. It was like a fun night out. Additionally, an insider with claims of knowing both celebs even chimed in that the duo have been longtime friends who enjoy a thrilling time together, so as a whole they are a fun pair. Santa was also another close pal who joined Cara's 30th birthday celebrations in Ibiza last month. At number 7 we have Megan Thee Stallion. Now I'm sure you all know what's coming, but let's get into it anyway because it might not be as crazy as you think. We all remember when Megan reposted that cropped pic of her and Doja at the BMAs that was notably missing Cara, who was seated in between them at the time. Well, online users quickly went in on Cara's quirky red carpet behavior with Megan, where the supposed quote stalking first started. The rest of the events played out accordingly too, with fans taking notice that Cara actually attended the event with Megan, but was not being subtle about her stealing peeks at Megan as the rapper walked the carpet and took photos. At one point, Cara lifted Megan's dress in the air and tossed it, possibly hoping to help her get a solid shot. However, there was also her tongue out in Megan's face when she won the Best Artist award for the music show. Fans alluded that Megan attempted to escape Cara the entire night through various memes. Realistically though, the pair may actually be great friends, and Cara was merely excited for Megan as she, the rapper, and Doja Cat were all animatedly chatting throughout the night. There was even a video shared by Billboard of one of their particularly interesting looking conversations. Furthermore, Megan called Cara her model itch, so the reshare in itself could have been very well harmless in the end. At number 6 we have Selena Gomez. This actress has a matching tattoo with her Brit bestie, and she revealed the meaning behind it through her virtual interview on Live with Kelly and Ryan. According to Selena, Cara had such a profound impact on her life that she dedicated the rose tattoo to their bond, proving that their friendship is truly tight-knit. Selena is known for her matching tattoos, as she has multiple with other important people in her life, like her mother and her best friends. The news of her and Cara's tattoos came from a short clip that was featured on the tattoo artist's Instagram. The 11-second video of Cara was uploaded hours following the post of Selena, where Cara got hers on her ribcage and Selena got hers on her back. These gal pals' friendship goes back many years, ever since they starred in the Bad Blood music video by Taylor Swift together. Their relationship further solidified itself when the duo went on Selena's end-of-the-year family vacation on the outskirts of Dallas in 2014. Most recently, the stars were reunited through their co-starring in the second season of the comedy drama series Only Murders in the Building. Naturally, with such a tight friendship, it's safe to assume that Selena is quite worried about her bestie. At number 5 we have Jay-Z. Jay-Z surely must be concerned over the fact that the British supermodel wound up kicked off his private plane, right? The incident recently took place at Los Angeles International Airport, where reports stated Cara's demeanor was messy and jittery. Paparazzi pictures of the actress circulated the internet, which displayed Cara twirling wildly with no shoes on and undone hair with bruises on her arms. At the time, she was wearing a Britney Spears tee, and the public has since linked Britney's former 2007 breakdown, due to the pressures of being a Hollywood star, to the one they believe Cara may also soon experience. Prior to this, Cara was also captured looking zoned out, smoking a pipe, and dropping liquid from a clear bottle into her mouth in front of an adult store, as well as standing on top of a vehicle while partying in Ibiza for her birthday. At number 4 we have Rihanna. Rihanna and Cara used to be pretty close back in the day. With Rihanna being the it girl and fashion trendsetter, it makes sense that this very thing connected her to one of her besties. They met at a fashion show in 2012 and quickly became fast friends who shared a super close bond. In their several years of knowing and working together, they've done a lot. This includes their 2017 film appearance in Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets. However, the movie was reported to have tanked at the box office. Despite this though, the modeling pair were excited about working together at the time. Although not much has been reported about them in current days, one can assume that Rihanna could be pretty worried over the behavior Cara has been reportedly displaying over the past few weeks. At number 3 we have Taylor Swift. When it boils down to Taylor's relationship with Cara, their friendship has never wavered. As a matter of fact, Cara told Variety that she and Taylor once lived together, and that Taylor has been a constant support in her life over the years. In 2019, Cara could not stop gushing about Taylor's song You Need to Calm Down. When she spoke with Variety about it, she stated, "What Taylor is doing is brilliant." Cara further praised Taylor for being a vocal advocate for the LGBTQ+ community in her time, as somewhat of a nod to how vocal Cara has been about her own sexuality. Cara has also stated that she was super moved by the message of support, that she shed tears when she first listened to the song. When Taylor dropped her Folklore album in 2020, Cara was right there to support her. She posted an Instagram story with her in one of Taylor's promotional cardigans. According to Taylor, Cara's unwavering, genuine support for her has not gone unnoticed. In fact, Taylor solidified Cara's loyalty to her as early as 2019, when she was mid-deep in the mess of her Scooter Braun music purchasing issue. At the time, Justin Bieber was reportedly in the defense of Scooter when he posted an open letter about the situation to Instagram, and Cara jumped to Taylor's side to share her thoughts. In screenshots posted by Teen Vogue, Cara blasted Justin's upload with, "I wish you spent less time sticking up for men and more time trying to understand women and respecting their valid reactions. Take a step back and try to learn from this. course. We should all be on the same team, end of story. And this spicy clapback was only the start for Cara, as she later shared the screenshot of the exchange of Justin's IG page to her story, with a caption of "Love you at Taylor Swift," once her comments were revealed to have been removed. At number 2, we have Ajira Boa. Ajira and Cara's relationship blossomed through their time as teen models. In 2017, during a joint interview, the pair admitted that they weren't entirely sure when their first official introductions to one another took place. Ajira stated, "You were walking around on the street in London in a cardboard box," when she recalled one of her earliest memories of Cara. When they sat down with Glamour to do some more reminiscing, the lifelong pals joked about their time as friends, which included their first trip to the Burning Man festival, where they were supposedly driven to the event by a blind pregnant woman, as Cara described, among many other events. Quote, "People call us model best friends, but we were friends before. What I've always been grateful for in our friendship is that we expect absolutely nothing from each other, just friendship." Just like Selena and Cara, these two also have matching tattoos to symbolize their close relationship, but theirs are halves of a red inked heart on their hands. At number 1, we have Lady Mary Chartreuse. Both actors' upbringings hail from pretty privileged backgrounds, so it's not much of a surprise that Cara obtains a few aristocratic friends of her own. Still, she and Poppy have been gal pals with Mary for many years now. Mary is the daughter of the Earl of Weems and the niece of Daphne and Guinness, and has most recently posed with Cara at a high society beauty charity fundraising event earlier this year in May. Mary has been sober ever since 2018, but this didn't stop her from accompanying Cara and her other celebrity besties in Ibiza for Cara's elaborate 30th birthday festivities. However, this could mean Cara's most recent behavior could be especially concerning for Mary.